Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is Joe Biden falling asleep during the African Leaders Summit, or what have you, and just embarrassing our entire country. And it's really hard to watch because you feel the secondhand embarrassment from it. But without further ado, here's a clip of Joe Biden literally just dozing off and sleeping.
In support of the development of the Lobito Corridor. Tanzania views the Lobito Corridor as an integral part of a broader strategy to enhance connectivity in Africa. We also appreciate the fact that the implementation of the project will provide important opportunities for Africa's development in sectors such as agriculture, renewable energy, digital transformation, trade and logistics along the corridor. Tanzania is already undertaking internal consultations aiming at aligning this project with national priorities and other bilateral and regional commitments. In closing, allow me to reiterate Tanzania's commitment to regional integration and shared prosperity. We note the progress made on the development of the Lobito Corridor and commend the visionary leadership that has brought this initiative to life. And it is through such partnerships and innovations that Africa's Agenda 2063 will be realized. I thank you.
His historic trip to Angola. Before heading home, he met with African leaders and toured a food processing facility. Biden also visited a port where he toured an American-made cargo train, which is part of the administration's investment in African railways. There is one moment that's causing quite a stir online, at least. Biden appearing to doze off a couple times during his meeting. ABC's Alex Brachet is in Angola. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Elizabeth. So President Biden left Angola earlier this afternoon. It was an ending to a whirlwind trip, a historic trip that lasted just under 2 days. The president, the first sitting U.S. president to visit the country of Angola. He's also the first sitting U.S. president to visit the continent of Africa since 2015. And a good portion of today was spent in Lobito. That is where the Lobito Corridor is taking place. It's a rail project that the White House hopes one day will connect Western and Eastern Africa. The president hopeful that will provide alternatives to the billions of dollars, the billions of Chinese dollars that are flooding into the region for infrastructure projects as well. Now, while the president was in Lobito, he also touted agriculture, 5G, and solar projects as well. But Elizabeth, I got to tell you that one of the highlights or headlines from today was during a roundtable. President Biden appeared at multiple times to sway, to nod off, to close his eyes, and also he appeared to fall asleep multiple times. Now, I will note that he did have an early start to today. He had been up since about 2 a.m. and also this is a long foreign trip, so it's possible that jet lag could be playing a factor. But at one point, his Deputy National Security Advisor, John Feiner, had to come over and interrupt this roundtable, which is a rarity. He whispered in the president's ear, and Biden then sat up. He opened his eyes, took out his notebook, and appeared to jot down notes. But this was something that was noticeable for reporters in that room. Listen, the White House is hoping that this visit, this historic visit, will further underscore the arc of the relationship between Angola and the U.S. They both started out with a shared history in slavery. They were on opposite ends of the Cold War, and now they're working together as strategic partners, specifically whenever it comes to shared economies, and also whenever it comes to national security. And the hope, Elizabeth, is that this historic visit will only foster a continued growth of this relationship. Elizabeth.
President Biden is heading back home.
Yeah, so I can't really begin to tell you guys on how embarrassing and how terrible this looks on us as American people. Like, it shows, like, the world that the American people voted in an idiot, voted in an incompetent person, voted for a person that doesn't respect other countries, and it all makes us look like fools and embarrass us on the world stage. That's pretty much what it is. Because now, when other countries goes and see this, oh, look, that guy, the president, is an old dotard fool, and he's just sleeping there, not even acknowledging or caring anything about the African people or what have you. And I said, they don't start saying like, oh, well, this is because JMReports, you have some attachment to the African people or Africa. Like, no, I really don't. I could care less. But the point is that we look like absolute idiots. And how can other countries end up respecting us if we end up doing something like this? We have a president that's just falling asleep during important matters, especially if we haven't gone on the continent for almost 10 years. So it's a pretty big deal to have a leader, a president, do something like this, right? And it's just abhorrent. And of course, the media can't go and lie about this because it's right in your face. It's right there in your face to say, hey, look, this is what's going on. Now, what we have here is Joy Reid lavishing and attacking Trump over being an actual leader and making sure that these other countries are held to the fire. Making sure that, maybe don't do this because otherwise there are consequences for your actions. You need to fall in line to specifically what it is. You need to do this. We have the power to do this as American citizens. He's being a leader. He's being a strong leader. He's not making no prisoners. And Joy Reid says this is a problem. This is a problem for a leader acting tough, being a man. This is an issue for her, and this is a problem, and we should all be wary of it. This woman is despicable. Take a look.
We are seeing a global trend of the far right surging. It isn't just happening here. But let's bring you back to the U.S. and to our local gangster, Donald Trump. He's not even president yet, and he's already spending his time sitting in his golden palace, Mar-a-Lago, muscling other countries like he's Tony Soprano with a social media site. Doing things like, reportedly, debating whether or not to invade Mexico, threatening BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, with 100% tariffs if they don't commit to trading in dollars and not their own currencies. Demanding Hamas release all hostages being held in Gaza before his inauguration, or there will be, quote, all hell to pay in the Middle East. Even reportedly threatening Canada. According to Fox, when Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau went to Mar-a-Lago this weekend to try to talk Trump out of his 25% tariff threat, Trump apparently suggested that if Canada can't handle the tariffs that would violate the NAFTA upgrade Trump himself signed into law, the USMCA, they should just become the 51st state. Just become this 51st state instead and allow Trudeau to be reduced to governor of the state of Canada, which caused the prime minister and others to laugh nervously. And while some are writing that off as just a joke, just a few hours ago, Trump posted this obviously AI photo of him standing on a mountaintop next to the Canadian flag, looking off into the distance with the caption, "Oh, Canada." And for the record, he appears to be looking at the Matterhorn, which is on the border between Switzerland and Italy, not Canada. Oh, and let's not forget, this is the same Donald Trump who at one point seriously wanted to buy the nation of Greenland, even possibly trade it for Puerto Rico. I wonder what this guy has against Puerto Rico. I'll just keep noodling on it. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Bottom line. This is how Trump operates on the world stage. He acts like he's everybody's boss, like he's the king of the world, which is bad news for basically everybody, unless your name is Vladimir Putin, the boss to Trump's underboss. The question now is, will any other leader stand up to him? And who? Who becomes the leader of the free world when Donald Trump ends Pax Americana as we know it? As Nicholas Grossman writes for The Bulwark, there is no undoing damage in history. It is up to those with power and influence to limit it now, and up to future generations to deal with it later. The post-Cold War international system has serious flaws, but at least there are clear enough rules that charges of hypocrisy mean something. Even rules more honored in the breach will be preferable to the lawlessness Trump's second term could invite.
Now, this woman here is absolutely insane. She's completely insane. And I don't know what she's getting at here. This is a sign of strength and being serious and being a leader. You have to be tough with other countries. Because if you're soft, like Joe Biden, it's just like, it's not a problem. It's like Joy Reid, this person here, this stupid idiot, thinks that, oh, if you're soft and you're sleeping on the world stage, that's acceptable, but telling other countries, hey, you know what? You need to be in line. You need to go to what we deem as fit. You need to do this. Like, I don't think there's a problem with warning, saying there will be hell to pay, and warning Hamas if he doesn't release the hostages that there's going to be severe consequences. That's being strong. That's being a leader. That's telling another country, another place, saying, hey, if you do not do what I say, there will be massive problems. The whole issue here was everybody wanted the hostages released and fixed. And Trump is saying, do this or else. So you're saying that being stern and being direct and telling, like, and being a leader, saying that's a bad thing, Joy? That's a bad thing. And then if we go like, oh, Trump says 100% tariff on BRICS countries if they pursue a creating new currency, yeah, that's probably a good thing because we do not want other countries creating a new currency that would devalue the American dollar and hurting Americans in the process of this. How is that a problem? I don't see an issue here with this. If it didn't jump to invading in Mexico or things like that, I don't see that people much of an issue either if it comes down to, listen, you have the cartel, we have to deal with the cartel, we're doing this to make this a big deal, right? And then she even goes on to say like, oh, well, jokingly, like, oh, we're going to make tariffs on Canada. Yeah, because Canada really doesn't want to letting illegal immigrants go through their country and into the American border and not stopping them from hitting us. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. Like, Trump pretty much said, if you do not do this, we're putting a 25% tariffs on your country, and that's it. And jokingly made a funny post about him staring off to the distance of, into Canada or whatever, and making it go 50% state. It's a joke, obviously, but, like, this is a joke. Can you not take jokes? This woman is absolutely disgusting in every single way. I cannot stand this woman. She is awful. I cannot believe what this is, right? And again, we have this sleepy Joe just sleeping constantly. It does not look good. And of course, we have this as well. Biden, it says here, Biden White House is discussing preemptive pardons for those in Trump's crosshairs, like Anthony Fauci, which, by the way, is under investigation by the GOP because he's committed actual crimes and lied to the Supreme Court and Congress. I don't know what else to tell you, but if those are crimes and Joe Biden is like, oh, you're going to get a slap on the wrist, he's pretty much abetting all these crimes. People who commit crimes, these higher up echelon people commit crimes, and that's A-okay. And in Joy Reid's mind, that's okay. Because you can go commit crimes, you can sleep on the world stage, you can make America, the U.S., a laughingstock. That's okay, but if we're not going to be stern and strong, and we're going to pardon criminals, that's also as well, okay, right? All right, we're not pardon criminals, but like we're going to be stern and strong, and do correct justice, and make sure that the world knows that don't mess around with America. We're serious. That's a problem, but releasing criminals, pardoning criminals, and saving on the world stage, that's A-okay in Joy Reid's book. It's absolutely insane, and I cannot believe it's even, suggested here, alright? That's the insane part. So, guys, that's what we're doing here. Joe Biden's a failure. He's awful in every regard. And, of course, you have the shields named Joy Reid defending the insanity. I don't know what to tell you. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted. by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.